welcome to Menu Talk with Pat and Bret. I am your co-host, Bret Thorn, Senior Food and Beverage Editor of Nation's Restaurant News and Restaurant Hospitality.
And I'm Pat Kobe, Senior Menu Editor at Restaurant Business. Welcome.
How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing well. You're just back from your travels, so tell us about that.
Yes, I was in Vegas, baby. I was at the Starbucks Leadership Experience 2025, which they don't want to call a convention, but it was 14,000 Starbucks managers in Las Vegas.
It's a lot.
Yes, and that seems like a convention to me. So I guess they think that convention sounds stodgy, but I don't know. You're going to Las Vegas with a bunch of baristas and restaurant managers. That sounds pretty fun, and I
Yeah,
had fun.
yeah, it sounds like fun. So tell us about what you tasted and saw.
Well, they filled up, for one thing. The UNLV basketball stadium is full of Starbucks managers, and I went to their first global barista competition was held simultaneously. So that was fun. You know, they did a blind tasting and they made signature drinks and various other things. And the winner was a Japanese fella named Nobuki, I believe, and he was very charming, which is also, I think, important when you're representing Starbucks. And then they basically laid out their plans for turning around Starbucks, which has had declining sales for the past year or more.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, they brought in Brian Niccol, formerly of Chipotle, to head up Starbucks. And they introduced a few initiatives. The one that really they got a cheers and standing ovation was most Starbucks are now going to have an assistant store manager as well as a store manager.
Oh,
So this will
great.
be a full-time dedicated position that will also help them cultivate their leadership pool, which they need to do because Brian Nichols said that he plans to double the Starbucks footprint in the United States,
Wow.
not with a specific time. And there are already 17,000 of them. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, just in my own neighborhood, I have like three within like a 5 block radius.
yeah, I have two within easy walking distance of my apartment, along with various other coffee houses. And yeah, people are into the coffee, obviously. And all the other chains are doing great. It's only Starbucks that seems to be struggling. So they're working on that. And they also have a new system for problem solving called the Starting Five, where they pick five restaurants, coffee houses, and they say, okay, you five solve this problem. And that can be anything from service models to new menu items. And Brian Niccol at Chipotle started what is frequently often called a stage gate process, where you test a menu item in a little place and then you expand it. I don't know what Chipotle had been doing before. I mean, it's a pretty standard process when it comes to menu development.
Mm-hmm.
You test in a few locations and then expand, but Chipotle kind of evolved in its own way, and I guess wasn't doing that, but now it is. And we'll get to the Chipotle news of the week in a little bit. I'll keep talking about Starbucks for a little
Well,
while.
how did this barista win? I'm just curious. I mean, what did he do that was so special?
Oh, I think he was just moderately more charming than everybody else,
So it
and
wasn't like a drink that he made that was different.
well, he did a signature drink. The details of which I have forgotten, but they all did a signature drink. They all did a blind tasting of half a dozen different roasts. He was at a traditional Starbucks location. Half of the 12 competitors were from regular Starbucks locations, and then there was a representative from each of the 6 reserve roasteries across the country. But he was a Japanese guy from a local location who had won, I believe, the Japanese competition for best barista. We did sample some other new-ish menu items. They have something called a strato frappuccino, which is a frappuccino that's layered with cold foam. The one I had was a strawberry frappuccino with brown sugar cold foam on top, and then a little stripe of cinnamon. So it's a layered drink, which is very, very trendy these days because people like to post about it on the social media, and if there are layers, that's prettier. They also are working on sort of upping their baked good game. So they had a new double chocolate cookie that had little sea salt flakes on top of it, and both a butter croissant, a regular sort of traditional croissant, and one filled with raspberry syrup or raspberry sauce, I guess. Although one of the announcements that also got huge cheers from the managers at the stadium was that they're going to bring raspberry sauce back this summer,
Okay.
which I'm not sure why that's. I mean, the enthusiasm was very pronounced. I mean, part of it was because it was a big 3-day pep rally for Starbucks. So, you know,
I guess it
everyone
was
was
a good
confident.
seller and people liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess raspberry syrup. So, menu talk audience, pay attention to raspberry this summer. I guess there's going to be a lot of it, along with peach, which we've already
Yeah,
seen.
lots of peach.
Peach and pistachios. A lot of
They just
pistachios.
keep on coming. I mean, Einstein Brothers Bagels just announced their mocktail lineup, which is debuting next week, and they have some peach on there too, of course. And it's interesting that they're calling them mocktails because they're trying to get like sort of like a breakfast brunchy vibe going, I think, and so they're calling these new items, these new beverages, mocktails, so that people will think that they're, in a brunch situation.
Well, and as we know, boozy brunches, like people have always liked boozy brunches on weekends, but uh, during the pandemic, people were day drinking a lot, especially at the breakfast and brunch concepts.
Well,
That
these
was
have no booze in them. They're.
right, yeah, but you still get that by calling it a mocktail as opposed to a fruit juice. I mean,
Hmm.
you can charge more for one thing, but also I think it adds to the sort of sexiness of the occasion. Even if you don't want to drink alcohol, you're drinking something that looks a little bit like alcohol,
Hmm.
and maybe people feel more special
Oh,
if
definitely.
they call it a mocktail.
And these have, some of the fruits that we talked about: passion fruit, dragon fruit, an energy one that's called Energy Spritz with Monster Energy. So I'm sure they'll be great with a bagel and a schmear.
Why not? Well,
Yeah.
and speaking of mocktails, I wrote earlier this year about how you can charge about as much as you can for a cocktail for a mocktail if you position it right. And I slipped away from the Starbucks convention to visit some friends who had a bar in Las Vegas. They just closed it because their investor pulled out. But so they're using their whatever social media influence they have, et cetera, to support other bars while they figure out what their next step is. And we went to a bar in the arts district called Stray Pirate that is sort of a excuse me, it's sort of a dog themed tiki bar kind of place. And they just opened a cat themed bar next door, a couple of doors down, called Prowl, Prowl. You know, cats. And there's a big sort of like a holograph looking video of a panther behind that bar. But anyway, there are a lot of tiki drinks, but and the drinks are around $15, and their mocktails are also around $15. And I respect that. Like you're renting a seat at the bar, whether you're drinking alcohol or not. Pony up. And obviously we write for the trade press, so we want restaurants to be able to get as much and bars to get as much as they can.
Sure. Did you try
Um,
a mocktail or you stuck
no,
to the
no,
cocktail?
I don't like to drink calories if there's not alcohol in them. Right now, I'm drinking some black coffee.
Uh huh.
It's hitting the spot. Yeah, yeah, and it is Starbucks coffee that I'm drinking it. Um, I don't know because they gave me a bag, and
Of course.
if you have beans, you can just go to Starbucks and they'll grind it for you, which I learned recently.
Hmm.
So that's a fun thing if you happen to have beans in
Definitely. Well,
abundance.
I do grind my own from the beans, but it's hard to find them when you just go to like a supermarket. Everything is ground, and
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Well, I mean, we don't have a huge selection in Manhattan because, the supermarkets have a pretty small footprint, so they can't
well,
put a huge selection. And I guess most people drink it already ground.
yeah. Well, I used to grind my own beans, and now I've decided just grind it for me, please. But I tend to buy my coffee at coffee houses and get the beans and have them grind it for me. Usually not Starbucks because good for Starbucks, but I like to support my local coffee houses. What else is going on?
Well, we saw some more chicken strips come down the pike this week. Taco Bell introduced their version of chicken strips, kind of based on the nuggets that they introduced earlier this year. They're coated with crushed tortilla chips, dipped in a buttermilk jalapeno kind of marinade before they're coated and then fried. And they introduced them in a taco and a burrito, but you can also get them on their own. So it's another continuation of like what McDonald's did last week or 2 weeks ago, and Popeyes was first with the chicken strip wrap. So here we go with Taco Bell and their tacos.
When a jalapeno buttermilk sauce, that sounds like ranch, like spicy ranch dressing, which is
Well, this
also
is the marinade that they dip in
oh,
before you fry them. But then they also have two new sauces. One I believe is an avocado based, and the other I would have to look up. um, yeah, I mean let's see.
well, and Chipotle has a new avocado ranch dip, their first dip in like 5 years.
Oh, it's an avocado ranch sauce from Taco Bell or
Okay,
or
trendy
spicy ranchero. So that's a big. It looks like a trend: avocado and ranch
avocado ranch and spicy ranch.
and spicy ranch.
And Mazio's, which has a buffet, just put a bunch of ranch dressings, 4 different ranch dressings on their buffet. There's a classic ranch and also an avocado ranch,
Mm-hmm.
a jalapeno ranch, and a smoky ranch that has sweet barbecue sauce in it.
Yeah. Well, I think
So,
we mentioned this before. Ranch is never going to go out of style. It's like everyone's favorite sauce and dressing, and they just keep making new iterations of it, which makes sense.
yes, well, and if they like it spicy now, the kids like spicy things. Um, I think, well, most Americans still don't like spicy things, but a growing number certainly are. And earlier this year, I was at a Wingstop launch for one of their new glazes, and they make their own ranch dressing in house, but they say a lot of customers like to doctor up the ranch with spicier sauces and so on, which I certainly did. I added a lot of their whatever they call their spiciest sauce to the ranch dressing and dip chicken strips in it, which is
Yeah,
certainly
definitely. Chicken strips are the thing this spring anyway, spring summer
yes, a lot of people are doing that, and why not?
for sure.
Also, Jack in the Box has a bunch of Sour Patch Kids watermelon flavored drinks. They got a lemonade and a slushy.
And then I'm starting to see more barbecue come on menus because we're in grilling season now, and restaurants don't actually it isn't something they're like tying into what consumers are doing in their backyards, but they do bring those flavors in the summer. So there are a number of new barbecue sauces and barbecue items on menus that I've
For
noticed.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and barbecue is a process. Obviously, it's slow smoking of food, but barbecue sauce, is an easy way to sort of evoke the idea of barbecue without actually having to barbecue things yourself. So restaurants are adding a variety of different barbecue sauces and more of the Carolina Gold barbecue sauce and other sort of tangy barbecue sauces, as
Right.
well as, sweet Texas and Kansas City type barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not every restaurant can, smoke their own meat and ribs, but they can definitely jump on the barbecue trend with sauces.
Yes. And and the sauce trend. People love the sauces, and of course, with labor being tight and everything being expensive, adding a sauce is a low impact for operations, but high impact for flavor addition. And restaurants have figured that out, and they're doing it a lot.
Cool. Well, you interviewed someone at the restaurant show that we have as our guest on the podcast this week.
Correct. It's Jonathon Sawyer, who has a restaurant in Chicago called Kindling. It's a live fireplace. And he also was just on a reality TV cooking competition called 24 in 24. And they had to 24 hours, like nonstop filming the whole time to make food and finish competitions and stuff.
They couldn't stop to sleep or?
No, 24 and 24. Jonathon Sawyer changed his socks 4 times. He's a socks guy, and we talk about this, the importance of having good socks. As a chef, you're on your feet all the time.
Right.
You got the one pair of feet. And so it's not a super long interview, but we do delve into the importance of socks. And he wears one type of compression socks for his commute, and then another type for when he's cooking.
That's so interesting. Wow.
And then we realized that we have a lot in common. Jonathon Sawyer and I are both hazel-eyed Tauruses who tried to play the violin as little kids and failed.
Wow.
So
Well, have you been to his restaurant? I went last year, not this year, but when we were in Chicago.
I have not.
It's really good. And he's such a creative person. I know he started in Cleveland and then moved to Chicago to open Kindling. And it's in the Willis Tower, which is kind of an odd place for a dinner kind of destination, but it's always crowded. So he was right on the money.
Yeah, well, he's such a smart chef, and I first met him many years ago when he was a skinny little guy in Cleveland, and he was one of the chefs who cooked at our chef's showcase at the IFIC conference in Cleveland, which was, I think, actually it was 2008 because it happened when Obama was elected president.
Yes.
So it was quite a while ago. And I still remember he made this, I don't know what he did, but it was this freaking delicious clam chowder that I still remember. And I thought, this chef is going places. And indeed,
He has.
yes. Tune in to this very enjoyable podcast with Jonathon Sawyer. Jonathon Sawyer, how you doing?
Hi, Bret. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm also great. We are at the end of the National Restaurant Show, and it's a good show, but like my feet hurt and I'm tired. You know how it is.
This is the last hour of the last day of the most important food conference in America, the National Restaurant Association show here in Chicago.
I never thought of it that way, but you're right.
Yeah.
And how's the show been for you?
It's awesome, right? I don't think there's enough hours in the day to truly digest everything that's happening inside of this building every single May. And whether you're looking for POS or crispy potatoes or a silly chef to do a demonstration on a stage, it really has everything.
And all of the seminars and conversations and all that sort of stuff as
Truly.
well. You can learn a lot.
I think this is right. I mean, this is where you go for inspiration. This is where you go to understand what the business of tomorrow is going to be. And you sort of have an opportunity to look in the mirror, right? As we look at whatever it is, let's just take POS, right? And as you're changing POSs and you think about what you're currently doing and you're looking at a new system, it gives you an opportunity to understand where your flaws are as an operator, right? Where is the air gap inside of my system if the Wi-Fi goes out?
And have you had much of a chance to walk the floor, or have you been like talent the whole
really,
time?
Today has been the first day I've had opportunity to walk around. Yeah. And, again, it's the last hour of the last day, so I'm going to make sure to maximize it.
Well, except you're here, trapped with me for a little while.
I wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
Thank you. Thank you. I did toss you that softball. I appreciate it.
Yes.
And so what were you doing here?
Well, I did a demonstration on the main stage. I did a pork curry katsu. I worked with SkyTab on their new POS system, which is a fantastic piece of hardware. I'm working with Chefware, this is the new line that's coming out. It's called Workware 25/7 from Chefworks. It doesn't come out till September, but the idea is like a mechanic's coat. Like they're going to sell 1 million of these. This is the most comfortable, most sort of like leaned into casual style chef jacket that there ever has been.
So it's the pockets that help.
Yeah, it's the pockets, but also like this fit, right? Like I could wear a collared shirt underneath, I could wear, t-shirt underneath, I could wear a chef apron over top, and you have like, again, like the 7 pocket opportunity plus your Sharpie.
Whoa. Yeah, to me it looked kind of military, but mechanic.
Yeah, I think in this color you got that military vibe, right? But you could go black, or you could go blue, or you could go, I'm sure there's another color, but really I don't understand anything outside of black, blue, denim, or green.
And you picked green. Or they picked green.
They picked green because they were like, it'll go with the hazel of your eyes. And I don't know, does it?
I mean, yeah.
You're being so kind.
I also have hazel eyes. We both have hazel eyes.
Hazel eyes. Unite.
They're the best ones.
And I think lastly, I'm working here with McCain and Shurkus because we did a commercial called Delivered. And I think it's one of the most, you know me forever. You know what I'm like. And I think when you have an opportunity to make a short form video that really captures you, you really are proud of it, right? And when you look at what we did with Delivered, when we're talking about going through Soldier Field and, being comedians and racing around in the basement in a car, you really feel like you're a part of my life and a part of my restaurant. And you understand the French fries are the best that can be delivered.
Well, and people love that. They love that little inside look.
Right, and it feels like from the outside, right, like authenticity is everything, and you just think of you tend to film a video and it's shaky and it's in your house, it's authentic, but that's not what it takes, right? At the end of the day, the hours and the labor that go into editing a video that's as phenomenal as the one that we did with Beta Rudder and Chris from McCain, it really comes out as a piece of art that is permanent, right? Like it's something that people will watch years from now and still see like how authentic that 30 seconds or minute 30 or 3-minute version of that video is.
Are you capable of not being authentic? You seem to be just completely yourself. Even when you're here promoting like multiple things, you're still so Jonathon Sawyer.
I hope so, right? At the end of the day, I think there's versions of myself in the past that maybe were a little bit more salesy than this version of me, but I'm just comfortable in my skin now, and I understand that like, if I'm gonna get behind a brand and tell a story, it's gonna be something that really is something that I believe in. And I wanna dive into the to quote out of von Bismarck, how the sausage is made before I have the sausage.
That was Bismarck?
Yeah.
Huh.
True.
And you would know, because you know about sausage.
I have sausage making fingers.
You sure do.
True story. My conductor in orchestra in the 3rd grade told me I had sausage making fingers and forced me to go off a violin on the string bass, which I am forever grateful for.
Wait a minute, you have hazel eyes and you play the violin?
I tried to play the violin.
I also tried to play the violin.
I ended up with the bass. I probably would have been better at percussion, but I played the string bass.
Oh, basses are badass.
Yeah, I love it.
There's
dearly.
nothing cooler. I thought I haven't made a lot of really terrible mistakes in my life.
Yeah.
But when I was 9, I thought, saxophone or violin? And I chose violin.
These are not violin fingers that we have, my dear friend.
No,
Are you a Taurus as well? Are we sharing
Yes.
everything? No, you're not.
Yes.
I'm May 1st.
April 22nd.
Get out of here. Such a small world.
Wow. Well,
Such a small world.
And there are a lot of Tauruses in food because we are loyal, we are stubborn, we are dedicated.
Artistic, driven, bull's horns.
And love eating.
Yeah.
And all the creature comforts.
Borderline hedonists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, borderline. I don't know about that. Hedonist. And you also have a finale this weekend, right?
I do. One of the most insane culinary competitions ever filmed, 24 and 24 on Food Network. The top rated show currently on the network, number 2 rated show in the history of the past 2 years. Over 4 million people every week are watching. And basically, 24 of us chefs of a certain pedigree showed up at a kitchen. And 24 hours later, only one of us leaves happy. And there is no breaks and there is no stoppage, whether you cut yourself, whether you have to go to the bathroom, whether you need to change your socks, which I did very often. It all culminates this Sunday on Food Network, 8 o'clock EST.
Why did you need to change your socks?
Well, actually, if we're talking about it, it was one of my strategies. So one of my greatest joys in life, so I think everybody can agree, is a fresh pair of socks, right? Like very like holding and tension and just perfect. So I brought 4 changes of socks, and I knew that if I lasted 24 hours, I could change them every 6 hours. So every 6 hours on the show leading up to the finale, I'm changing my socks into a fresh pair. And it was just like a little moment inside of the insanity for me to like decompress, thank myself with something nice in the moment, and really just take care of my feet. It's so silly.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Are they like compression socks?
They actually were ankle compression socks, yeah. They're the same ones I wear at the restaurant, and like what I commute in is different than what I wear on the line. So I followed that exact same strategy into the show 24 and 24.
So you commute and then you change your socks.
Yes, oh my gosh. When I get to work, I have to change my socks. It would be ridiculous not to. Yeah.
Huh.
Work socks versus home socks, highly recommended.
This is a fascinating thing I've learned about.
I mean, listen, we only get one pair of feet, and we got to take care of those things until we're gone.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go socks shopping. I mean, I wear compression socks too.
Yes.
I'm going to go shopping and buy more of them.
Yes. Ankle compression socks and knee compression socks, both, there's a purpose for them.
Wait, do you wear the different ones on different occasions?
Yeah, I commute and I ride planes with the knee compression socks, and I wear the ankle compression at the restaurant.
Interesting. Okay. And you've mentioned the restaurant.
Yes.
Kindling.
Yes. Kindling wood-fired restaurant. We're 3 years old this year in Willis Tower, hard corner of Adams and Franklin. First 2.5 stories, and it has the longest wood-fired hearth in all of Chicago, 13.5 feet. It's the first thing you see, it's the first thing you smell, and it really adds all the authenticity to everything we do inside of that building.
Well, how's it going?
It's awesome. It's an absolute blessing. And being inside of the Willis Tower, having 6,000 workers over top of us every single day and up to 11 million tourists is an absolute blessing.
Yeah, that sure is.
Yeah.
And you're open lunch and dinner, breakfast?
Yeah, lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday every single week, closed on Sundays.
And what should we all order when we go?
You know, for me, the perfect 3-course meal is like crispy Brussels sprouts with Thai fish sauce and a little bit of lime juice, a wood-fired steak of your choice, but prime beef plus open oak wood-fired is unbeat. And for dessert, I would do the maple flapjack. It's a sort of fake stack of pancakes that's almond and blueberry financier inside with a maple whip on the out.
Whoa.
And that's it. And that's all for one person. Don't share.
No, don't share.
Never.
No.
Or always.
Wow, that was lovely.
Awesome.
And does the menu change very much?
Yeah, we typically change all of the vegetables and pastas because we make them all in-house, 6-7 times a year. So every month or so, you'll see a new menu item pop off.
So summer is coming.
Summer is here.
Is it?
Although it doesn't feel like it here in Chicago today.
No.
It's like 45 degrees. I
Yeah,
know,
and
it's
rainy,
terrible.
and the traffic,
Yeah.
I understand, is bad, which is too bad because I'm headed to the airport after this. But
The traffic is tragic. 3 of Chicago's, this is the least pertinent to what we're talking about, but 3 of Chicago's highways average 18 miles per hour at rush hour.
Yeah, I mean, I live in New York City, and I swear Chicago's traffic is worse than
It's worse, for sure. I think the 3 worst highways in America are in Chicago, Miami, and LA. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
However, that's why I'm a commuter.
Phoenix.
Phoenix has got a bad highway?
So going from northern Arizona to Vegas, the worst roads on the planet.
No way.
The vol-
Scientifically verified?
absolute
All right, I'll take your word for it, ma'am.
blood on their hands.
My goodness.
Wow.
So
Blood on their a curse upon their houses.
that was hardcore.
I love it.
Anyway,
Anyways.
summer. What kind of vegetables are we going to see in
So
the
we
next
just
month or
started
whatever?
popping off like that's legume and spring pea season. So we
Oh.
have a burrata salad that's going to go from these English peas and spring peas into fava beans and snap peas, and then eventually it'll hit us into the tomato season. So we love the idea of a dish that's as neutral as burrata with warm focaccia and a basil oil, and then we allow it to go sort of from that verdant side to that tomato side. So that same salad you'll see in 3 or 4 different iterations from June, July, August to September.
And then what happens to it?
And then it goes bye-bye for the winter, and we bring a beet salad on.
Oh, I do like beet salad
Love a beet salad.
and burrata. Well, I think that about covers it,
I
Jonathan.
think that's
Sawyer.
it. We covered the traffic. We covered our socks. We covered authenticity inside of video making and how important it is, and the NRA show. And that's it for this year.
And hazel eyes.
And hazel eyes and
Violin.
Tauruses and violins. That's it. Ding,
Beautiful. It was a pleasure.
ding. You're the best. Appreciate it.